we're just talking to him. What have you seen out of Jason the second time around?
Great consistency. He's been really clean. He's had a great camp. He just finished out today with made all his kicks and really 2 game winners that we put him in. So he's been excellent.
Did you have a feeling when you guys let him go that he was going to go on to have a good year somewhere, just with what you saw of him in the preseason?
Absolutely. You know, we had 2 snappers, we had 2 punters, we had 2 kickers in, and we were really competing as much as we can. And the whole goal for me, and I told them all at the beginning, is hopefully everyone's in the camp. We can't keep all 3 of you, or we can only keep 3 of you. And he did great. And so it was a great competition, and we're just happy to have him back.
Was it a tough decision?
Very tough, you know, and we went through it and we documented everything. And that was one thing that we did all throughout OTAs, all through training camp, all through the games. We charted every single kick, and Jason did get beat out, and I think he'd be the first one to tell you that. And but I think that made him even better, and hopefully getting him back in the year he had last year, and even the situation where he went to the Jets. You know, he went there on Tuesday and was kicking on Sunday. I think that all prepared him for where he is today, and he's been great to have back.
So it was really a numbers decision. You had the data for it.
Well, that was into it. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, and we were really searching for some consistency there. You know, we had a couple years where we were up and down a little bit, and so that was a factor, as is everything. But a lot goes into it.
How would you grade or assess the overall special teams last year?
Really good in the middle. You know, we started a little bit slower, and then we had about 8 games there where I think we were as good as anyone in the NFL. I think we were really helping our team with field position. And what I always go back to when you watch us play on tape, the effort that was there was outstanding, phenomenal. Towards the end, we had some issues, and it kind of showed up for different reasons. But that's our whole mindset going in to finish. Because right there, about 8 games, we were as good as we've been since I've been here, and we just need to continue to finish.
After the draft, John and Pete talked about this rookie class. A lot of guys who look like they can help on special teams. Just out of the rookies, what have you seen out of those guys?
Everything we saw on tape. The great thing about a lot of our rookies is we were really able to evaluate them on special teams. They all played in their senior year or throughout their college career. So we really, as special teams coach, we really had a good evaluation, offense or defense, and a lot of special teams. A lot of times you project guys. You know, you see them play on either side of the ball, and then you hope they can be a good special teams player. But all these guys we've seen it in college, and it's showing up out here.
Did you target Jason once you saw the fade and just knew he was going to be available?
Absolutely. The way I looked at it is when I evaluate college kickers, I had Jason Myers at the top of my board. And I said, okay, then there's who else we'd like, but that would be the one we'd like number 1.
Tyler has said he wants to do as much returning as he can, but with, you know, obviously the receiving role he's going to have, is there any hope or desire to kind of take some of the returning stuff off of him or find some other guys you can work in there a little more?
Well, that's always a head coach decision. But the great thing that I really enjoy is that we have a lot of guys that can do it. David Moore looks fabulous out there. Returning punts, you know, he had a great preseason last year. So the number one thing, especially on a punt returner, is you want to make sure you retain possession. And that's the hardest thing to get in the game, and there's a lot of decision that goes into it, and I really feel comfortable with David, and we got a lot of young guys that can do it too. So however that plays out, I think we're prepared for whoever we put back there, and we'll feel good about it.
Is there a young guy or two that's kind of stood out?
Yeah, Amadi looks good. He did it at Oregon. It was really good. Ursula from Hawaii has done a great job too. So there's some guys that we can put back there.
How did Michael Dixon grow from day when he rolled in here to the end of the year last year for you?
Not only to the end of the year, but to where he is now. I've seen the greatest growth in him from the end of the season until where he is now. And he's just going to continue to get better. He has such a better understanding of what's happening now. And he's such a hard worker. And he's so smart in terms of how he does it that where he was at last year at this time and where he's at now, it's amazing. So he's going to continue to get better.
Will he be better as a runner this year than he was?
I don't know. You got to ask Pete that one.
Jason talked about how he works with a psychologist. How do you think that helps a kicker?
Oh, I think it helps them. I mean, whatever they can do to make them better. We all have different things, and definitely that's a position where your mind has to be right, and there's so many things that go into it. So whatever he can do, and he's done that for a lot of years now, feels really comfortable with it, and it definitely shows with his calmness. He's one of the calmest guys you'll see, and just he gets to his routine, and so he has it. I think it's phenomenal.
Was there? You mentioned kind of the late season, the special teams got a little uneven or whatever. Were there a specific one or two things you could point to as there were issues in any of those?
I think it's overall. You can make excuses or you can point to a lot of different things, but I'm not into that. What I'm into is trying to fix it in the off season and really point it out to our players. And we did a lot of study in the off season, not only like throughout the whole season, but how it ended. And so we had a lot of specific things that we're working on, and we're just addressing it. And really, it comes down to as simple as finish. And that's a big thing in our program with Pete, and it's a big thing in our special teams moving forward.
How big of a impact on that is the Dallas game when Sebastian's hurt and can't go, trying to figure out what you're going to do there, and Michael can kick, place kick, and all that? How kind of a hectic was that for you, trying to figure all of that out?
Well, it's always hectic when you lose a specialist. If it's a long snapper, your punter, your kicker, you're always getting someone that has done something that he hasn't done. So it kind of shocked the system for everyone, and Russell had to hold, and it was all different. And those are things you constantly have to be working through. So just the other day, we had Dixon and Russell kick. And so already he's already had that. He had 2 kicks the other day, made them both. So, again, we constantly just have to be prepared for all those things. But it was nuts.
How feasible, and this may be unrealistic, how feasible do you think it could be for somebody like Michael to eventually do both full-time?
I wouldn't want to have him do that. He's been playing football, I think, 5 years. So it's not like he grew up around football, kicking footballs, kicking off, doing all that. We have a kicker and a punter for a reason, and I don't want him to do that. I just want him to keep getting better at what he is, and he has to be able to get out of a game. Really, that's the final.
Do you need to get Russell to do more holds just in case?
We've done that. We do it all the time. Just getting throughout the year, we do that, and like I said, we did it the other day with a live kicking situation. But he catches some every once in a while when in the season when he's not doing 7-on-7. Offensive goes and then defensive goes. So that time he's able to catch a few.
Have you figured out the new kickoff return rules? You think now that you're better off now than you were this time last year? And how did that all go for you guys?
I think it went good. Lockett had a lot of good ones, and I think more than anything, we just kind of honed our scheme. To me, it was still about the fundamentals of the game, and it was just, moving 8 guys up. And so really you have to have more athletic guys up in that space in the restricting line up there. And so it messed with your roster a little bit, where in terms of having bigger guys in back, you just had to get more athletic. But the teaching and the technique and the fundamentals are really the same. You just have to get faster, athletic bodies up there.
You like that change?
I like it. I think it's good for the game, number one. I think it's keeping the kickoff in the game, which I think is really important. And I don't think you saw a whole lot of – I think it was still clean football. There's a lot of exciting football, and there's a lot of cool stuff out there.
The draft this year at all?
You'd have to ask John and Pete that, but they always ask for my input on guys. So really what me and Izzo did is we watched everybody, and when we commented on everybody, whether we saw them on special teams or just saw them on offense or defense, and we kind of said how they would fit for us, and those guys make a decision.
Do you feel like you're trying to protect an endangered species in kickoff return, that the league wants to get rid of it, that that's where it's headed?
First, I think the safety of the game, I'm all on board with that. And I see that, and we've improved there. But absolutely, that's my job. That's job security for me. So, and I think I don't want to take that out. It's been too important, and I enjoy it too much. And so I think we're taking the steps to do that. And obviously the concussions went down and all those things went down. And I see that, I understand that.
What do you think of the job that Shaquem did on special teams last year?
Good, but I think he's going to be great this year. I've already seen the improvement in terms, like he started on defense the first game of the year. So, it was, and his understanding of where he's going, it's just, and always from rookies to their second year is always a great improvement. So he's been fast out here. His understanding of the game is great. So he was a flash player last year because he has that natural ability. I just think he's going to be really, really consistent in terms of how he does that consistently.
Well, you said with the rule changes, though, for the kickoff, does that kind of put an end to the onside kick? Because they were very successful last year. I'm sure anyone...
4 were recovered. 4 were recovered. So it's really hard just getting that running start. So we're still trying to figure out what we can do, but it's hard. I mean, 4 out of I think 54 was the number. So yeah, it's going away.
Anything else? Thank you.
Hey guys.
Thank you.